Join us on Path of Faith, where we seek to inspire and empower you on your spiritual journey, offering guidance and support as you navigate life's challenges with faith and courage. Father Fabio, if God is omnipresent, is he the owner of good and evil? Dear one, the fact that God is omnipresent has nothing to do with the origin of evil, because omnipresent means being everywhere, the omnipresence of God. So God is here. God is there with you. He is present everywhere. The question of the origin of evil is a much discussed theological issue. We have a very beautiful reflection in Christian Catholic theology regarding the origin of evil. But the most important thing in all of this, because I know that what bothers us the most is this, is to think, if God is good, how can bad things happen? Who is responsible for all these bad things happening? We have an interesting explanation, which is the origin of sin. Sin as the door that opened for evil to have power over us. Then you have all the metaphor of paradise that was lost, of the apple that was eaten, of the expulsion of Adam and Eve, of that space that God had placed so that they could live in harmony. We have this parable as an indication that evil arose precisely at the moment when we broke the covenant with God. At the moment when Adam and Eve wanted to be others, wanted to be gods, they forgot about human condition, forgot who they were, and wanted to be who they could not be. And from the moment we want what is not rightfully ours, we begin to establish injustice. Have you noticed that? How many bad things happen? Precisely because we do not know how to recognize what is not ours. Why is theft inherently evil? Stealing something from someone is evil. That is evil because I do not respect the space that is delimited. It belongs to another, but I want it for myself. The same thing when you have the presence of evil. Life. When I go and kill someone, it is the lack of respect for what the other is. Violence has its origin in this. Now, what makes me evil? It's my adherence to this project. It is very dangerous for us to blame all guilt on the devil. Oh, it's the devil who wants this. It's the devil who makes it happen. Yes, but if the devil wants it, we are the ones who carry it out for him. Have you ever seen the devil walking the streets? No. I have seen diabolical people walking the streets. The devil himself, no. There is no problem here. We do not have a devil here. The other day, a woman asked me, Father, do you perform exorcisms? I stopped to think, how can I perform an exorcism? No. Then I thought, but immediately I said, no, there is a way for you to perform an exorcism. You love. Every time you love, my friend, the devil has no place with you. The devil cannot stand a person who loves. The devil cannot do absolutely anything in the life of a person who seeks goodness, who seeks partnership with truth. The devil begins to have a say in our lives when we open the doors for him to sit, to have a coffee in our house, to have a little whiskey with us, then that's it. You start opening the doors. Oh, come smoke some marijuana. And the devil sits and smokes marijuana. Let's sniff some cocaine. It's the opposite, right? It's me who is adhering to what is a process of breaking within me. This week I was in Itapemirim. I met a young man there. I think his name is Paulo. During the show, I saw that he was very quiet, but I had already seen him like that because he was very close. And at the end of the show, he was already up on something, waving and singing. And then he asked, I understood that he wanted to talk to me. And then he came to the dressing room to give me a hug. And he said to me like this, Father, I'm struggling to free myself from drugs. And then I hugged him and said to him, my friend, freeing yourself from drugs is the same as you starting to love yourself again. Because drugs are nothing but a lack of love. I will judge within myself a toxin that will harm me. I will judge within myself a substance that will numb me, that will take away my awareness of things, that will distance me from the people I love, that will take away the peace of mind from the people I love. How sad it is. The drug addict does not see the suffering he causes. The mother who does not sleep, who until she sees her son coming home, no matter how bad he is, she likes to see him arrive anyway. She doesn't sleep because she keeps thinking, my God, where's my son now? So cutting with drugs is reestablishing the bonds of love that you have. When you say, I'm going to stop smoking this marijuana, I'm going to stop doping myself, I'm going to stop drinking, especially because the worst of all addictions for me is the socialized one, the one we do in front of everyone. Alcohol is terrible, and every time a person decides to stop drinking, they are not deciding for themselves alone. It's also because of the people they are making suffer that they are destroying. It's so beautiful to see a person react because of the love they have for others. So, this is a beautiful thing to see. Now, evil, it enters into the context of our lives based on our choices. I choose evil. It exists. It is concrete. It is real, but it only tries to seduce. It is me who will adhere to it and will represent it in my life. More than knowing its origin, it is discovering a way to neutralize it. I don't know how evil entered the world. I don't have that answer. I have the suggestion that theology that the parable gives me, but I don't have a ready answer for that. So what do I do? If I don't know how evil entered the world, I can avoid it entering me. That is what is right and possible. Only those who have read Father Fábio de Melo's books know how transformative they are. They make us reflect and change our perspective on life. If you haven't read them yet, don't miss this great opportunity. Learn more by clicking on the links in the description. Father Fábio, what can we do when fear prevents us from fulfilling what God wants from us? Fear is a natural reaction to everything that tends to be new in our lives. Of course, fear is a natural reaction to various situations in life. Fear is natural in us because it points us to what is a limit. Because I am limited, I am afraid. I'm afraid of burning my finger, so I'm limited. I can't put my hand in the fire. I know that. It's a limit I have. The limit of my skin, the limit of my physical condition. Now, when this fear of fire begins to prevent me from having a healthy relationship with everything that will have fire, for example, if I'm going to be near a bonfire, but I don't need to judge myself in it. It's the control we can exert over the fear we feel, which is always an experience of rationalization. The fire is there. I know it's dangerous for me, but I start to manage the relationship I have with it. Everything in life is like that. When I start to manage the fears I feel, I start to overcome them. I cannot allow fear to become an oppressive force that diminishes the quality of my life. We often tend to live in fear of novelty. Everything that will be new in our lives, the changes we will face. Who feels fear, for example, when they have to change jobs? We don't know if it will work out. Who will get married? Who will face a new lifestyle? We'll always go through the experience of fear because novelty, we will leave a comfortable region, a reality that we are already accustomed to, and we will move to a new territory. And it is natural for us to be afraid of that. What is not natural is for fear to prevail. That is why we always need to be careful to manage new realities, always seeking that courage that minimizes the power of fear. When we feel that we are feeling too much fear and we are missing opportunities because of the fear we feel, we lose precious opportunities. The other day, I even met a girl who was sharing with me, Father, I'm very afraid of growing in the relationship with my boyfriend because the last relationship I had made me suffer a lot. So she couldn't invest in the new relationship because she brought the scars of a relationship that was very tragic for her. It ended with a lot of suffering. She suffered a lot at the hands of that boy, that old boyfriend. So now she was facing the fear that if she loved again, she would have to go through the same situation she went through. And that's where we need to rationalize. It's the formula that often works. How am I going to rationalize a situation? How can this girl rationalize the fear she has of the new relationship? It's about thinking. This guy I'm dating now is not the same. He doesn't necessarily have the same personality as the one I dated before. It doesn't mean that what I experienced with the other, I will have to experience with this one too. That's rationalization. Because the big challenge my people, is to put meaning and reason into what we feel. Put meaning into feeling. That is, shed light on what I am feeling and understand my feeling, which is not always true. Not everything I feel is true. So, I'm afraid of being betrayed again, but I may not have reasons for that. It may be that the person next to me today does not give me any reasons to feel this fear, but because I have marks from the past, today I deal with her with fear, insecurity. It's interesting for us to realize that humans will always need healing. Often the relationship doesn't work today because we haven't healed from the relationship we had. That happened. That was tragic for everyone. So this thing of organizing life little by little as we live, correcting our feelings, doing emotional digestion. When we eat something that makes us sick, we have stomach upset, right? But when we also feel something that made us sick, we need to experience emotional digestion. That is the process of eliminating what was not good and keeping what was good. That's digestion. Well-done digestion is when the body keeps what it extracted from the food and throws away what is no longer good. It digests it. When it doesn't digest, it's because the food stayed in the stomach. And since the stomach wasn't made to keep the food, but it was made only to be an instrument for that food to be digested and thrown, the proteins, vitamins, minerals from our food into the blood to continue feeding the body. The stomach wasn't made to be a storage place. We have upset stomach. The food stayed longer than it should have for some reason, either because it was spoiled or because it was too heavy, ate more than it should, right? Affection and feeling work the same way. And often I live this emotional indigestion like this, keeping inside me what should have been eliminated. Or judging for my effective life, what was the learning from everything I lived? If I don't do this digestion, I keep that as a bad thing and start projecting onto others what didn't work from that first experience. And that often makes us afraid. You know, when we go into a relationship with another, bringing the marks of a past that was not good. Many times we take this also, not only in the dating issue, marriage, no, and friendship, no. In everything in life, sometimes we make the reading of the new that is before us with what we already have as experience. So the great challenge is to ensure that fear does not prevail, that what was the experience of the past does not prevail over us. Fear will always be natural because we will analyze life based on what we have already experienced. And if what we experienced we did not put in the right place, then we run the risk of making this experience always determinate for us, as it scares us, limits us, and prevents us from going beyond. But it is always good for us to make this effort so that this fear does not prevail. As we come to the end of our time together on Path of Faith, we invite you to continue the conversation in the comments section below. Don't forget to show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel for more inspiring messages.